If you've been trying to balance the SEO needs of your website to get people from Google in and the copywriting that you need to have to make sure that people are moving through the funnel, I am here to help you with that in this video, because you don't need years of experience to make this happen. All you need are the tips that I'm about to give you. These tips I've used to more than triple the highly targeted leads of a B2B client of mine recently, and many other clients to boot. So I'm going to take you today through 14 different tips in 2 different sections, one focusing a little more on the SEO and one focusing a little more on the copy. And I'm going to get you on your way to making better, more targeted sales fast. So if that sounds good to you, make sure that you like and sub and comment, and let me know in the comments if you're excited by typing a yes, and hit that bell to get notified for my next video, and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is the SEO side, and let's talk first about research, because this is the most important part, in my opinion, of how you can get your site ranked on Google so that you can get them reading the copy. But it also has a lot to do with the copy itself. So if you want more detail on how to do a keyword research setup, check out this video on quick SEO tips. That's gonna really help you to understand how to do keyword research. So we're not gonna go too deeply into that here, but I will say that once you understand the keywords and understand exactly what people are searching for to get to your page, then you need to go a little bit deeper and understand the phraseology that they're using more generally so that you can relate to the people who are on the page. So for instance, let's say that you're selling rock climbing shoes. If you've never sold rock climbing shoes before, you've never been in the rock climbing community, I don't know why you're selling rock climbing shoes, but you might not know what a toe box is. You might not know what aggressive shoes are versus non-aggressive shoes. And if you don't understand these things, then you're just gonna be speaking to a wall because nobody's gonna think that you understand them. So if you go to like Reddit, let's say, or you go to YouTube and you just kind of listen to those communities there, then you're gonna have a better understanding of how they speak, what kind of words and phraseology that they have, so that when you do write that copy, it's much more impactful and it relates to the people who are reading it, okay? You can also talk to the market more if you want to talk directly to the customers. That's always a good thing, focus groups, surveys, that sort of stuff. And you can do that on Reddit as well if you want, but be very careful. Reddit is very quick to call you a corporate shill and shun you, right? So just be careful if you're doing that, but it can be very effective if you're able to get the answers out of people that you're looking for. All right, so keyword distribution. Let's talk about where your keywords should go. They should be everywhere if possible, but not too much. Because you don't want Google to think that you're keyword stuffing, because then it's gonna discount your keywords completely. So you need to find this balance between exact match keywords, keywords that are relatively similar, and then the copy on the page that's gonna keep people moving down the page. So the way that you do this is to craft sentences around your keywords. You need to think about how you can make that sentence sound as smooth as possible so that people don't go, that's an obvious keyword, right? So how often should you have those keywords on the page to make that happen? The exact match keyword should be at a minimum once in the title, once in the headline, 2 to 3 times in the content, and then once in the meta. So that's a minimum, but it really depends on the length of your page and how many words in general you have on that page. So the other thing that we need to think about here is what the distribution is like, because you don't want to put all of that in the top and go, okay, thank you very much, and then go about your day. You need to have them distributed throughout the page so that Google can see that the entire page is related to what you're talking about. So if you can have all of those things put in place, that's really going to help you to get people on the page. Okay, so let's jump over to the writing tips, and let's first talk about what the point of this whole thing is. The point is to keep them reading. The longer that they read, the more invested they're going to be and the more engaged they're going to be, which is more likely to get them to result in a sale, okay? So the point of the first sentence is to get them to read the second sentence. The point of the second sentence is to get them to read the third, and so on and so forth. So if you can make those sentences as impactful as possible, you're more likely to get them to the next sentence, and then the next, and then to the sale. So let's go through a few tips for how to do that. Tip number 1 is short sentences. So you want to make your sentences as short and to the point as possible so the maximum number of people can understand it. Actually, the American Press Institute actually did a study on this, and they found that sentences with 8 words or less, 100% of people understood. If there were 14 words in the sentence, 90% of people understood that sentence. And if the sentence was 43 words long, less than 10% of people understood the sentence. So as the sentence length gets longer, the understanding goes down. So if you can make your sentences short short, to the point, and impactful, you're gonna get more people excited and moving to the next level. Okay, tip number 2 is highly specific headlines. Tell the reader exactly what they are gonna get so that when they're clicking on the page, they know what they're gonna be looking for and they're excited to get to that next level. So for instance, you've got a headline that says, gotta catch them all in your wallet versus 11 reasons you need to start buying Pokemon cards again. Which one are you gonna click on and why, right? You know exactly what you're gonna get out of 11 reasons you need to start buying Pokemon cards again. You have no idea what gotta catch them all in your wallet means. So you're gonna click on that second one because it's highly specific and you understand what you're reading and what you're getting into. Okay, so the next tip is you need a strong lead section. So the lead section is the area right after the headline. Whatever attracted them to the headline is gonna get them to read that next paragraph. And if that next paragraph is boring, then you're gonna lose them right away. It is the most important thing after that headline. So make sure that every sentence in that lead section is perfect to get people moving down the page. All right, moving right along to the next tip is FOMO. So you wanna make them afraid of missing out. FOMO means fear of missing out. And you wanna make them feel, oh my God, I don't wanna be the only one who misses the train here. I better get on this and purchase this as fast as possible. You wanna put that groupthink fear into them so that they're more interested in making that purchase on an instinct, okay? And the way that you can do this is you can use copy like this or copy like this and try and make them feel like they're gonna be the only one who's not in on the game. So my next tip, guys, is use small words. No one is impressed with your big words, okay? I know that you like to use them and show off that dictionary language, that's great, but no one is impressed and a lot of people might not even understand it. They're more likely to be confused. The more you confuse people, the less likely you are to convert them to a sale. The more likely you make it easy for them to understand, the more likely they're gonna convert to a sale, okay? So you wanna get the maximum people to understand immediately. So don't use words like abscond when you're saying, I'm going to abscond with your dog. You wanna say, I'm gonna run away with your dog. That's more easy to understand, right? So try and keep this language as simple as possible. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the structure. So the structure is super important. If you understand how to build a structure, you're going to be able to push people further down the page. And the most effective structure that I've found is the AIDA formula. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. The idea here is that you're first grabbing their attention with those great headlines, and then you're cultivating their interest. That's that lead paragraph we talked about, so that you're trying to cultivate that interest so they read a little bit more and a little bit more. And then you build the desire for the offering by giving them more information about more benefits, etc. And then finally, you are telling them how to act and you're giving them those calls to action so that they can take that action. So that doesn't mean just putting a button at the bottom. That means adding lots of different reasons and ways to act as they go down the page. Okay, next tip, benefits, not features. So you wanna push the benefits of what it is that you're offering and not the features. If you're just putting in a list of features, that's boring. But if you have benefits, that's exciting. You're telling people not only what it is that you offer, but how it can help them. If they can understand better how what you have to offer is gonna help them in their current situation, they're gonna be more excited and they're gonna keep going down the page and they're gonna want to make that purchase at the end of the day. They only care about what helps them. It's not about what you have to offer. A list of features is important for people who are trying to decide on a package, but beyond that, you wanna push the emotion, you wanna push those benefits. All right, your next copywriting technique is addressing objections. So guys, this is not like a sales call. On a sales call, you get on the phone, you make a pitch, they respond with objections, and then you have rebuttals for those objections. Here, you don't have the luxury of that because this is written form. They make the decision whether they come or go, and you don't have the ability to keep them there if they don't want to stay. So you need to have the objection rebuttals ready to go before they even know that those objections are coming in their own mind, okay? So a couple of objection examples might be like, oh, I don't have the money for this right now. Okay, monthly installments, or okay, maybe we can set up some referral program, something like that. Oh, I had a bad experience with a similar product. Well, here are the reasons that that product failed you and this product will not fail you. There are lots of these objections that you need to anticipate. You're gonna learn them over time as more and more people give you that kind of information. So make sure that you keep a log going of what the objections are so that you can always update your copy with this. All right, next tip is scarcity. So it's absolutely the case that in the vast majority of situations, you are gonna lose a sale if they leave your website. So it's the same situation as if somebody walks into your office, you pitch them, they say, I'll think about it, and they walk out the door. If they say, I'll think about it, 90% of the time, they're not gonna buy from you. That's just how it goes. And so it's the same thing on your website. You have to convince them that they wanna purchase right now. And the scarcity tactic is a way of adding an extra layer that makes people feel like if they don't buy right now, they're gonna miss out. So a couple of examples for this might be like, I only have 1,000 copies of this book to give away or to purchase. I only have a limited time discount. You're never gonna see this again. These sorts of things make people feel like if I don't get this now, I'm really gonna regret it. And that is a huge part. It's a mental trigger, in fact, of our psyche. We want to be able to get the best deal, and we want to have things right now. Those are two really big things for us. So if you can put these into place, make sure that you keep to them. So make sure that what you say is true. What I mean by that is don't have a 40% off discount that's only good for 7 days and then make it available for 30 days or forever, because then people are just gonna not trust you again next time you add a scarcity tactic and you've lost this edge. So make sure if you're gonna use scarcity, you stick to the truth here. All right, let's talk about social proof now. We tend to trust the things that others have experienced. And if we can see results from other people, maybe that's the results from what they've done, the number of sales that you've made, the number of people in your community, etc., people are gonna feel more confident that because others have experienced a positive outcome from what you offer, that they will also experience that positive outcome. It doesn't have to be sales. You can show audience growth, you can show life improvement from the product. Testimonials are fantastic social proof, and anything that you can do to tell the reader how the testifier's life has changed for the better is gonna make that testimonial even stronger. Social proof is a huge part of any copywriting. All right, last big tip, guys, no round numbers. Keep your numbers jagged and crooked and weird. So this is a psychological pricing idea. So we tend to ignore less significant numbers in pricing. So for instance, in $19.99, we would ignore the 99 and we would see $19. And then we would automatically say, okay, that's cheaper than 20. And then you're gonna more likely associate it with 10 than 20. So that's kind of a long-winded way of saying that people see $19.99 as cheaper. I know that a lot of people are kind of on to $19.99 specifically, but a number that's been very effective recently, I've seen myself and a lot of other people seem to be experiencing, is using the sevens. So I'm talking about 97, 197, 297. And if you can use those sevens, I'm finding that actually people are more likely to convert with you because they're gonna see that as a lower price than even if it's an 8 or a 9. All right, guys, there you go. So if you try all of these things, all of those tips that I gave you, and you put them into practice and you really analyze where you are, I am so sure that you're gonna see higher ranks and more sales. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, put a yes in those comments and let me know how excited you are. While you're at it, make sure that you like and sub and hit that bell and all that stuff, and I will catch you next time.